Hello dear student, how are you? I hope you will be well. Today we are taking the another formula or method for finding the definite integrals. So as we have already seen in indefinite integral, how to find the indefinite integral with the different methods, or out of that one is very important that we have learned about the substitution method. So now this substitution method how we can use for the definite integral, so that we have to see in this method. So let's see. So here this is the definite integral. Now with the help of substitution method, how we can find this or what steps are there, so that we have to see. First of all, we evaluate it as indefinite integral. Integral is an indefinite integral by eliminating limits and substitute. We have to use either y equal to fx or x equal to fi. We put this. This is the substitution method we already learned. So first of all, we evaluate this as a indefinite integral by putting y equal to fx or x equal to fi and reduce in the standard form, and then we reduce in standard form or non-form, which we know the integral of that one by substitution method. And after integrating of the new integral with respect to new variable without mentioning then we integrate with the new integrate, and then we can find the integral of it. Then you have resubstitute. What we are supposing that you may resubstitute. After we integrating, we get a function. Then again you have to resubstitute what we are putting here with original value. And then fourth step we have to write antiderivative at upper limit minus antiderivative at lower limit. This formula you get, and this is the process. Clear? So what step we have to follow for the substitution method? First of all, you have to remove this limit. We get simple indefinite like fx dx, and then you have to make substitution. Fx equal to some constant you put. That's why it will be converted into the simple integrate. Then you can integrate that one. After integrating, resubstitute this, means y again replaced by fx. So you get the integration as a indefinite. So after getting indefinite, you use the fundamental theorem of calculus, that is antiderivative at upper limit minus antiderivative at the lower limit. So these four steps we have to use. Now here one more important, you can use step first and second. You may don't need to integrate with the help of third and fourth if you are using another method. That is, whenever you are substituting new variable, then with the new variable you can also change the limit of the function or limit of the integral. If we are changing the limit of the integral, then there is no need of resubstitute. Clear? So there are two methods, bypass method we can show. So with the help of example, you can understand how we can use the one. So let's say integral by the resubstitution method. So write down evaluate 28 example. -1 integral from -1 to +1 5x power 4 root of x power 5 plus 1. So this we want to find first of all as a indefinite. So you can say that I equal to -1 to 1 5x power 4 root of x power 5 plus 1 dx. So here consider indefinite integral corresponding to the given definite is we are removing the limits. Here first step we remove the limits and this indefinite integral we write as a indefinite means without limit, and by substitution method we have solved as already in chapter previous. So here you can put this as a t, so derivative will be this. So here let x power 5 plus 1 equal to t. So its derivative will be 5x power 4 dx equal to dt. So this is the substitution method. We are putting the square root value. Why we are putting? Because we want to convert this non-form or standard form of which we can easily integrate. So this can be written as a t. So this is dx. So now this will be. So this is suppose we can say I1. So I1 equal to integral of this 5x square and dx combined greater than dt, and this root we have t. So very easy, root of t. Clear? So that can be written as t power 1 by 2 plus 1, 1 by 2 plus 1 plus c. So this is t power 2 plus 1 3 by 2, and this is 3 by 2 that is 2 by 3. So we get the definite integral 2 by 3 t power 3 by 2. Now step third we have to resubstitute. First step calculate as a indefinite and put the substituent, and then you have to non-form, and in second step non-form can be integrated. After that you have to resubstitute. What resubstitute? T equal to x power 5 plus 1. So this will be 2 by 3 x power 5 plus 1 whole power 3 by 2. See, we are not using in the definite. So this is the definite integral corresponding to the given indefinite. Now after the step third we have 4. That's it. Calculate this antiderivative at upper limit is 1 minus at lower limit. So 1 may be written this as a this equal to what? 2 by 3 x power 5 plus 1 3 by 2. Its limit will be minus 1 to plus 1. So now we can use formula fb minus fa. fb is f1 minus f minus 1. So here we put 2 by 3 1 power 5 plus 1 whole power 3 by 2, then minus this minus 2 by 3 if you put this here minus 2 by 3 minus 1 power 5 plus 1 whole power 3 by 2. So this is the antiderivative at upper limit minus antiderivative at the lower limit. Now it is your work of calculation. 2 by 3 1 power 5 power 1 plus 1 2, that is 2 power 3 by 2. So minus 1 power 1 plus 1. So this is 0. Clear? So 2 power 3 by 2, the total sum will be 0, only we get this. 2 power 3 whole power 1 by 2 you can see. So 2 by 3 8 root of 8. 1 by 2 is root, 2 power 3 8. So 2 root 2. So 2 into 2 root 2 by 3. That is 4 root 2 by 3. So this is the value of the definite integral. It is 4 root 2 by 3. So this method is known as Selfisson method. Clear? So one may write this. So the what we are step follow. First of all, you calculate this as an indefinite integral by substituting the variable and then resubstitute value. After getting the antiderivative as an indefinite, we can use formula antiderivative at upper limit minus antiderivative at lower. Then by calculation you get the answer. So write down this. Now one more we are saying that in this method also we take the without resubstitution. Suppose if after this step, if you are using this step, but we doesn't want to resubstitute. Clear? So if you use another method and not substituting this value, then here you have to change the limit. Here we have to also change the limit. So what we can change here, this method is already correct, we have done. Now we are taking the second part. Suppose here same process you follow up to this one, and here when you put x power 5 plus 1 and t, their corresponding limit of x. These are the limit for the given variable x. X equal to minus 1 to x equal to 1. Now we are putting the new variable t. Then what according to the new variable t will change, that will depend here. So when x equal to minus 1, in this we put x equal to minus 1, so t will be 0, minus 1 power 5 plus 1. So t equal to 0. So when x equal to minus 1, t will be 0. Similarly, upper limit you have x equal to 1, then t equal to, when x equal to 1, t equal to 2. So these are the new limits. Clear? So when you are changing the integral, this limit will also change. So see, here we have to solve up to this point. Then I1 equal to like this t. Now there is no need of resubstitute because we get the new limit. So now this will be converted into this can be written as I equal to integral from, or either you can write here this as a root t dt, or you can directly write this from without integration. You may also write this 2 by 3 t power 3 by 2, and limit is now according to the new variable. What? When x equal to minus 1, t will be 0. This is 0. Minus 1 convert into 0. Then x equal to 1, t equal to 2. So this is the new limit according to new variable. So now there is no need to resubstitute t as a x power 5 plus 1. Directly we calculate this. So again use ft minus ft. Last step remains same. So 2 by 3, t means 2. 2 power 3 by 2 minus, here 2 power 0. So 0 power 3 by 2. So 2 by 3, this is root 8, already we solved, minus 2. So 2 into root 8 means 2 root 2. So again you get what? 4 root 2 by 3. So answer is same. So you may use either previous method or you may use this method. Both will give you same results. Next is Euclid integral 0 to 1 tan inverse x dx upon 1 plus x square. So this we want to solve. So in solution right here I equal to 0 to 1 tan inverse x dx 1 plus x square. So we consider indefinite integral. Corresponding indefinite integral will be tan inverse x dx upon 1 plus x square. So here say we can make substitutions as you see in the case of the indefinite integral. If we are putting the tan inverse x as a t, then its derivative is 1 upon 1 plus x. So function and derivative both are there. That's why we can use. So we put tan inverse x equal to t. If tan inverse x equal to t, then representing with respect to x, derivative of tan inverse. Now suppose if you don't want to put the resubstitute, that's why you can change the limit. So how we change the limit? When x equal to lower limit is 0. So when x equal to 0, so put here value 0. So tan inverse 0 is 0. So t equal to tan inverse 0, that is 0. So when x equal to 0, t is also 0. And second one, when x equal to 1, t equal to tan inverse 1. And we know that tan inverse 1 is at the pi by 4. So now we are getting what? The new integral will be from 0 to pi by 4. Now tan inverse x, tan inverse with t and dx upon this, that is dt. Clear? So this integral will be now converted integral of t into dt. So if you calculate it as an indefinite integral, then integral of t, that use formula x power n. So t power 2 by 2 plus c. So our answer will be t power 2 by 2 and the new limit 0 to pi by 2. Here we have to use the fundamental theorem of calculus. Antiderivative at upper point minus antiderivative at the lower point. So put the value. T means pi by 4. So pi by 4 square by 2 minus 0 by 2. So that is pi square by 16 into 2. So in this way you get pi square by 32. So exercise 7.10, question number 1. This is evaluate integrals 0 to 1 x dx upon x square plus 1. So here you can say solution. Let given integral I 0 to 1 x dx upon x square plus 1. So we consider I1 as a indefinite integral x dx upon x square plus 1. Now we put the denominator as a t because its derivative is given in numerator. So x square plus 1 is t. So 2x dx equal to dt. Means numerator x dx can be replaced by dt by 2. Now suppose we want to change the limit also. So we put x equal to log limit 0. Then t equal to here 0 square plus 1, that is 1. So when x equal to 0, t equal to 1. Similarly we put x equal to upper limit as a 1. So when x equal to 1, t equal to 1 square 1, 1 plus 1, that is 2. So this is the new limit. So now this according to new limit, the integral will be from 1 to 2. And this is t and dt. So we can say x dx can be written as dt by 2 upon t, or which can be written as 1 by 2, 1 to dt by 2. And indefinite integral you can say dt upon t. I1 as 1 by 2 integral of dt by t. So its integral will be log t. So we calculate this as a indefinite integral, that is log of 1 by 2 log of t. So this value will be written as 1 by 2 log of mod of t, and limit is 1 by 2. Now we use fundamental theorem ft minus a. Antiderivative as upper limit minus antiderivative as lower limit. So 1 by 2 is common throughout. So log of t is 2 minus log of 1, and log value of 1 is 0. Log mod 1 is always 0. So finally you get 1 by 2 log of mod 2. Okay? So this is the answer of the first part. So write down this. So here say we take solution. Let I given definite integral 0 to pi by 2 root of sin phi cos phi phi. Now we use as a indefinite I1 root of sin phi cos phi phi and d phi. So one day we write this as, for substitution, cos power 4 into cos phi, that is 5. Why we are break up cos power 5 in two parts? Because in the root there is a sin. Root derivative is cos. So we need that one. So if we put the sin phi in the t, that is derivative will be cos phi d phi. So you can put here left sin phi as a t. So its derivative cos phi d phi is dt. Now if you want to change the limit also in the definite, so when phi is not limit 0, then t will be sin 0 is 0, and when phi is pi by 2, upper limit pi by 2, sin pi by 2 is 1, so t equal to 1. So you may change also limit. So there is no need to re-substitute. Clear? So now what we get? Integral of, now put the value sin phi t. So root t. Now cos power 4 can be written as cos square whole square, and cos square is 1 minus sin square, and this is t. Clear? Cos power 4 can be written as cos square whole square. Cos square whole, and cos square is 1 minus sin square, and sin we are taking t. So 1 minus t whole square. 1 minus, that's why we written this. And this cos phi d phi and dt. Now multiply root t. This is a minus b whole square. So 1 square 1 plus t square 4 minus 2t square. And this whole is multiplied with the t. With power is increased by 1 by 2. So t power 1 by 2. T e power 4 plus 1 by 2 8 and 9 minus 2t e power 2 plus 1 by 2 that is 4 5 by 2. So in this way we get this as a indefinite. Now easily you can use in all terms the integral and using x power n formula. So here integral of this will be e power 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 that is 3 by 2 e power 9 by 2 plus 1 that is 9 or 11 by 2 then 2 plus 1 2 plus 7 by 2. So in this way you can calculate each one. So this is the indefinite integral. Now so these values we have to substitute here. So I is equal to, according to the new variable, our integral will be limit from 0 to 1 and this will be root t into 1 minus t square whole square. And this we have already solved. So using ft minus fa. So t power 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2 that can be written as 2 by 3 t power 3 by 2 plus 2 by 11 into t power 11 by 2 minus 2 into 2 by 7 into t power 7 by 2 and its limit 0 to 1. Now we are using ft minus fa, upper limit minus lower limit for this and you get the answer. So for first 2 by 3 upper limit is 1 power 3 by 2 minus lower limit plus 2 by 11 upper limit 1 power 11 by 2 minus 0 power 11 by 2 minus 2 into 4 by 7 upper limit 1 power 7 by 2 minus 2. So 2 by 3 this is 1 minus 0 1 plus 2 by 11 1 power 11 that is 1 minus 0 1 minus 4 by 7 into 1. So now 2 by 3 plus 2 by 11 minus 4 by 7. So now you can easily take the LCM and simplify, you get the answer. Clear? That will be 64 upon 231. So in this way you can find the definite integral by using suitable substitutions. Clear? So one more you see. Third one say integral 0 to 1 sin inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square into dx. So here you can put the value of x equal to tan theta, because if we are putting x equal to tan theta then there is a formula, we get sine. So we put here x equal to tan theta. Clear? So dx equal to sec square theta d theta. So 2x upon 1 plus x square that is 2 tan theta upon 1 plus tan square theta, that is value of sine 2 theta. So this bracket whole value 2 into tan theta upon 1 plus tan can be written as a sine 2. So here say I equal to 0 to 1 sine inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square dx. So we take indefinite as sine inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square into dx. So if we are making the the substitution here. So this can be written as sin inverse into sin 2 theta into sec square theta d theta. So now you know that sin inverse and sin will be removed for the principal branch value. So you get 2 theta sec square theta d theta. So now 2 into theta sec square theta d theta. Now this is we can use by parts. This indefinite integral be solved by the part. According to I get the first function is theta and second is first and this is second. So what we get? First function integration of second minus derivative of first function integration of second into d theta. So this is 2 into theta and integration of sec square is tan theta minus derivative of theta is 1 sec square tan theta d theta. So again if you take the 2 into theta d theta minus and integration of tan is minus log cos theta. So minus minus plus log cos. So this is the integration according to the new variable. Now suppose if you want to change the limit, then what happens? So when x equal to 0, so tan 0 is x equal to 0. Then tan theta is also 0. When x is 1, then theta is 5 by 4. So finally you get this integral I equal to 2 into theta tan theta plus log of cos theta. Its power 0 to 5 by 4. Now this value put in the last step and we get the answer. So 2 pi by 4 tan pi by 4 plus log pi cos pi by 4 minus 0 into all 0 minus log cos 0. So this is 2 into pi by 4 value of tan pi by 4 is 1 log cos is root 2 value of cos pi by 4 that is 1 by root 2 and then minus 0, then this is also 0. Cos 0 1, log 1 is 0. So finally you get this value 2 into pi by 4 plus log of 1 by root 2. Clear? So in this way you can find the values of the definite integral by using the substitution method. So this is for all today's class. Have a nice day. To be continued. Thanks for watching.